The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Watch your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
Welcome back to the best no judgment zone space in the world, because neither one of us have law degrees. I am Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Happy New Year to the world.
2021.
To the Chinese folks, don't worry, we got y'all. Stay tuned. When y'all time come around,
don't worry.
We got love for y'all the same way.
We gonna hook it up.
We gonna get y'all stuff for the. This is my year too.
This is your year?
Year of the ox. I was born in 85.
You're the ox.
I'm a Taurus.
Okay.
And I was born in the year of the ox.
Oh shit.
Built strong.
Oh shit.
So this is my year to shine.
That's you.
So let's see this. Yeah, man. To the folks at home, like, subscribe, comment.
All that good shit.
All the good above. You know where to find us. You're with us for a bit. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Comment on the YouTube. Like and watch us on YouTube to get the action in.
Yeah.
See my progressive fro. No, I'm fucking around. And yes, keep the Ask the Sons questions good as usual.
And do remember also on IG as well as the YouTube page, there is the 5 minutes of Sun clips. Just little small digestible bites just so you can know what the episode is all about. And then in the description is a link to the episode itself, or at least the description of the episode itself, so you can know how to find it, right? And yeah, how you doing, Marv? What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. The 2020 rocked a lot of people. Funny.
Yes.
Let's not dwell on that. We're in 2021 or 2021 Savage. That's what I seen.
21 Savage?
Yeah, that's what people have been out here posting and everything like that. I was trying to think about like the most common item or object besides a face mask in 2020.
Besides the face mask in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Face shield?
Face shield. I
Does
said
that
Zoom.
qualify as mask?
I said Zoom.
Webcam.
Webcam. But some laptops is built with it, right?
Yeah, but there was a while like just trying to get cameras for the show, like just trying to find like even just a decent type of webcam. It's impossible. Bicycles. Yeah, I believe at the beginning there was like a worldwide bicycle shortage. By the time I went
worldwide
bicycle shortage.
Clearly,
By the time I went
about that, because I didn't care about that. But yeah,
by the time my son's birthday came around, because I wanted to buy him a bike. Dude, it took me like at least 3 days to locate a place where they had bikes. And then I finally ended up getting I believe it was Canadian Tire, which is like a utility shop here that sells all type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was at Canadian Tire, and at the time when I called, they had just got a batch in, and I managed to buy a bike out of the batch that they got in. And then they were just... Yeah, for a while it was just crazy. Like you couldn't get your hands on a bicycle.
And what month is that?
That was in August.
And the funny thing too, I have a friend. He said in the May time he was gonna buy a bike a little bit after Mother's Day.
Yeah. So
he can at least get some kind of form of exercise and stuff in.
I had the same idea.
And he said, yeah, he's like, secondhand bikes were going for like $1,000.
It was insane, man. I'm
like, you could buy a hoopty cheaper than a bike. Let's think about that concept real quick. But go ahead.
When I went to go, because I was the same idea as like I want to start getting back into more exercise, and so I was gonna buy a bike. So I had the idea of buying one, just never got around to it. Mm-hmm. But now when it was coming time to around my son's birthday, I was like, well, my son he never owned a bike. Everybody else owned a bike. Let me get him a bike. So I started searching. I was like, why is it so hard to find a bike? So I was like, I Googled, and it's like worldwide bike shortage. And apparently this like probably around the same time the toilet paper shit started going off is when bicycles just went kaputski. And then the same deal with webcams. One particular webcam that I was looking at, It was a Logitech 920 on Amazon. This was in, I want to say, December of 2019,
Okay.
when I was getting ready to do the 3-camera setup.
Mhm.
At the time, I looked for that webcam. That webcam was $78,
Mhm.
right? By the time the shortage hit, that same webcam was selling for $200.
Zoom, baby. Zoom and the webcams and the chat.
Insane, it's
Yeah.
insane. So I would say webcams, bicycles. Those definitely were hot commodities.
Hot products. Yeah, man. That was just. We lost a lot. We lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
Known figures. We lost a lot of unknown figures.
Shout out MF Doom, a real hip hop legend within those who know. I mean, it's not the commercial stuff, but you know, if you're a fan and you follow that, then you know who he was, and he was big with the underground scene. And the funny thing about it is that the notice of his death was just, I mean, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, but apparently he passed in October. So there still hasn't been any release of what he passed by, but I found out kind of
Odd.
kind of odd.
I was about to say months later and still you can't. Yikes.
Yeah.
So let's get to these polls. Let's talk about these polls real quick. So on Monday
Yes.
we posted a poll. The poll said, if you were to fight 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Yeah.
12-year-olds, who would win the fight?
All right. So before we go ahead and discuss this, what was the numbers?
The numbers?
Yeah. What was
54% said they're betting on themselves. That they-
54%?
Yeah.
So we have we can win a poll.
Yeah, they can win it.
Okay, all right. And the 46, they were rocking with real reality.
Okay, so you okay. Let me hear your piece, because you know people they wait for me to explode on some shit. So I'm gonna humble myself now. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I'm on the reality team.
Yes.
Yeah. So my son is 13.
That's one taller than me.
All right. So okay. 1 year removed from what we're discussing.
Yeah.
All right. He's taller than the both of us.
Facts.
Right. So I'm saying
13.
13.
13.
13.
1 year more than 12.
1 year more than 12.
Okay,
He's taller than the both of us.
Continue.
His temper? Oh, it's nothing nice. It's nothing nice.
So now we get a calculator. We times that. Can we times that by 5?
He times that by 5. See, him alone, I'll deal with. Him alone, I'll deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because he's still got that fear of father in him. You know what I mean? But the other 4 that may look like him, that'd be like, nigga, you ain't my dad.
These kids are built different.
I don't know. I don't know what y'all are thinking out there, but
Yo,
it's not the 12-year-olds that you grew up around, for sure.
So check it. All right. I'm on Team Reality too.
Yeah, you on Team Reality too?
The 54%, whatever.
Yeah.
Salute to all those drug dealers out there. I don't know what kind of drugs you giving these people and stuff, whatever, but
It's heavy.
You need drug dealer of the year for
It's heavy.
2020.
What those?
Whatever
Yeah.
you're selling them.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
heavy.
I was like, it's 5. I don't think people are paying attention to 5.
To the 5, no.
To the 5. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, people are saying, yes, I'll beat a 5-year-old. No, it's not a 5-year-old. 5, 12-year-olds. I make sure I put 5 with digits, 12 in words. So, you know, it's not all together. And I was looking at them like, this is some banana shit. So this is where the story came up.
Okay.
I have a friend, not too far from her house. She right where her house is, there's like a entrance to a park to kind of go around her house towards like the side and to the back.
All right.
There's some kids right by her spot. So one kid's in fear standing there and stuff, whatever. She's outside. She's like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Those kids over there said they're gonna stab me." 12-year-olds say they're gonna stab another 12-year-old, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Whatever. She's like, "No one's gonna stab you, sweetie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna call the police so the police can deal with them, right?"
Right.
Because when you get to like the mid-30s, you're in this range of like ordinance. You
Yeah.
want peace.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So she's like, "I don't got time to be fucking with people's kids."
Right.
She's gonna call the police and stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah.
She's like, it was kind of chilly, which it is.
Mhm.
She said she's gonna sit in her car
Right.
and wait for the cops to come. When the
Okay.
cops come out, she's gonna get out of her car and everything. So she told the kid she's gonna sit in the car until then.
Yeah.
And she watched the kid go home.
Right.
Right? Sat in the car. Same 5 12-year-olds
Right.
start circling her car like fucking
Oh,
shark
word!
weed.
What, like the Apaches and shit?
Yeah,
like
they start rounding around.
they
like,
were beating the Indian
waiting-
drums and shit.
The Indian drum was hood of her car. So they slapping the car like, "Get out the car, you bitch!"
What?
They called her a bitch.
Hold on,
and
okay,
everything.
wait. Had the conversation moved from the little girl and now to the defender of the. Damn.
So she's like, she started up the car and she's like, "I will run you guys over," right?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "All you can do is go straight and forward. You got to turn out. You parallel park." So these kids know some shit. 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
So I said, I was gonna call her name. Salute to Shannon. Fuck your feelings, Shannon.
Yeah.
That's what basically these
Salute
kids.
to you, Shannon.
Salute to you, Shannon.
Yeah.
So I was
Gangster. You
like,
gangster.
you wait. She said she waited till the cops came.
Mhm.
As soon as the cops pulled up, they just headed down the park area. The police officer said, "We've spoken to those kids before. Those kids are not good for the neighborhood. They've been up to no good for the longest." So I
Right.
mean, these 12-year-olds,
Right.
they've probably been bad since they were 11-year-olds.
Right.
Now
Right.
they ganging like,
Right.
God knows what's gonna happen to that neighborhood. I don't
Right.
live there.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're gonna pray for you too, Shannon.
See, and it's and I don't understand because it's not like our audience have never seen Bebe's kids.
Yeah,
It starts before 12.
it does.
It starts before 12.
And they don't die, they multiply.
Yeah.
That was the slogan,
By
right?
the time they get to 12, I mean, there's some 12-year-olds right in the hood. They straight up 18.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Pretty much. I seen a kid the other day.
try taking all 5 of those.
I seen a friend of mine and stuff, they have a 15-year-old. Little dude has like little 1-2 facial hairs trying to come in at 15. He has
Yeah.
a full out like
You got the stash.
he's trying to formulate the old porn stash.
Right.
to come in.
Right.
But I was looking like impossible. I'm like, I had a shadow mustache at like for like till 10th grade. 10th grade, that's when my facial hair start really coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, impossible. You're just going into high school and stuff like this, whatever. He's like, yeah, his voice is deeper than mine. Like he smoked like 3 cigarettes a day. And shit. Yo, these kids is
You
different.
know what that remind me of? All right. This is the ultimate kid. Okay?
Okay.
You probably even couldn't take on one of him. The dude from Boondocks.
Which dude?
The kid that stole the car. The one that kept bothering Riley.
Oh, the LaMilton kid.
How old was he in the Boondocks?
Because the real life LaMilton kid, I think it was like 7, 8.
Okay.
And yeah.
That kid was a straight up terror.
But that kid, even like the real life,
Yeah.
I think he's like 19. Like I think he's like 21, 22 now, whatever, right?
Okay.
But even like he had juvie run-ins constantly, like through his high school thing. I think there was like age 15, 16. He had 2 good years of like being a good kid.
Yeah.
And went right back to the fuck shits. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, nah, yeah, you batting rough. You're shaking it rough.
Right. Now imagine you caught him at 12.
Him at 12 times 5. Like, time at or plus 4.
Him at 12, you probably don't need to plus anything more than 2.
Nah, I can take a solid.
You can take-
I can take a solid 1.
You
I
think
feel
so?
like
Yeah,
I mean,
solid 1.
solid
Yeah.
Milton.
Yeah.
I can
You think
take
a solid Milton win?
2 solid Miltons. I don't know. I think one has a gun, one has a knife, whatever. Right? But me, I'm looking at stuff like when it came to these kids, I'm like, 2 I can wash. I can wash and fold.
yeah,
two, I can wash and fold
12-year-olds,
easy.
no problem,
And that's the
man.
confidence of myself, whatever, right?
12-year-olds, no problem, man.
The third one, this is when it starts to get shaky because kind of like you're doing a 2-piece combo over here, a 2-piece combo over there.
Yeah.
Your back is exposed.
What? And I mean, this was a good 2-hour conversation the other day, right? We were just we were breaking it down. And I think the last thing that I said was, if all 5 of them decide to rush you, right? And I was like, and then we all agreed after, don't make it be some planning niggas.
Yeah.
Because if they huddled first and each one said, all right, I got the left arm, I got the right arm, you got the right leg, I got the left leg, and all of them rush you at the same time and grab those parts,
And the one
and
freebie
held on like this,
and the freebie one
and
just
the freebie one just went to
nuts
town.
on your
just went to town. What you gonna do?
cry. Cry. Ain't no shame in my game.
You gotta take it. You gotta take it.
Yeah. All right. So once again, salute to the drug dealers out there.
Salute y'all, man.
Salute to y'all and your addicts over here saying,
Salute to y'all.
Yes.
Salute to Shannon.
yeah, we're going to pray for Shannon.
We
We're
gonna-
going to pray for Shannon. I'll see you another time. You can answer to this episode. The next poll question is, should parents tell their kids about their financial problems? So 62%, said no. How do you feel about that? Are you yay or nay?
I wanna say I'm yay.
You're yay.
Yeah.
I'm yay too.
I wanna say I'm yay. Because in all cases you lead by example. And I think that goes with bad as well as the good. Right?
I agree.
Like, if I've made a mistake that I can foresee you might do a similar thing, I'm gonna tell you about the mistake I made and then what I possibly thought of or how I could have gotten around it or this, that, and the third. But I think it's better for me to do that than to have you go through it and say, "Oh shit, the same thing happened to me,"
Yeah.
and then you be like, "Well, then, pops, why you warn me?"
Yeah. I agree to that. See, I look at it and stuff is where we don't give these kids enough credit. From 0 to 17, they're kids.
Yes.
18 till whenever they die or God calls them. I mean, they're adults,
Right.
right? So they're in a shorter course of being kids or children until compared to the adult aspect. What we do for them when they're under the adult level is supposed to help prep them for adult life.
That's correct.
If you have mistakes or fuck ups or things where you need to get better on, you work on that within yourself and you aid and help guide your children.
Yes.
So they don't make those mistakes, Hove did that. So hopefully you don't have to go through that,
Right.
It's like on that kind of level. So if you're financially unstable, like I guess with credit and certain type of things or like the debt people, like payday loans
Right,
and all that type
right.
of stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
You have a conversation with your kids.
Yeah.
You kind of prep them onto the game and stuff like that. Even if like Christmas time just passed and when they were like, yo, mom, dad, why we didn't get a PS5?
Yeah.
Be like, yo, we got this roof. Like I used to look down like, yo, like that's all fun and games, but
Right.
what the fuck? I asked for like 10, 15 gifts and I only got 5.
Yeah.
But like, it takes a lot to maintain this
It does.
over your head.
It does.
And I think the sooner we teach the kids that whatever, we'll have less entitled children. Because these children, again, become adults.
Yep.
And when they become adults and stuff, they feel like they're entitled to things and stuff. They're like, I don't understand. This should
Nah.
be given to me.
Yeah.
It was like that when I was younger. Why am I have to work for it? I have to earn it?
I think that was one of the things I always tried to make sure I did whenever giving my kids stuff, like explaining like where it came from, why I'm doing it, and why I'm able to do it. As opposed to them just thinking it's coming from, everybody said, no, I took care of this, that, and the third first. I take care of the needs first before I deal with whatever's the wants.
Right.
Right. So if you get if you're getting a want, it's because the need has already been taken care of, right? And if
Some,
you
some
don't,
parents don't explain that to their kids though.
what and
some parents,
that's the
some
problem.
parents just keep it moving.
But that's the problem.
They'll
though.
just do all that within themselves and don't say a damn thing. I think that's part of the 62%.
That's part of the problem. So now, whenever it comes to a situation where Christmas comes around and they don't get what they expect, it's not a reasoning or it's not a thinking of why I didn't get it. Like, no, you know why you didn't get it. There's a need that probably had to been met.
Right.
That took care of a want. Right. That was more important than a want.
Right.
There's a want will happen when it can happen.
True.
Right.
True.
A want will happen when you know that you're good with it.
But the needs come first.
But the needs come first.
Absolutely.
So my kids, they don't ask me for anything like come Christmas time. They don't.
Which is good. I'm still in the stage of stuff where my son, he just appreciates whatever.
Right. Well,
I can buy him a Happy Meal and then he'll tear the toy out,
Yeah.
eat the fries, his nugget, nice and smooth, and he'll love the fuck out of the box.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what I mean? It's a different stage. You know what I mean? But it got to the point where I now say to myself, okay, if I'm going to condition my kids, I can't condition them into the thought that shit will just always just come out of nowhere.
Right. Yeah, see, I feel like sometimes it happens and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, when they're in the unknown or they're not knowing, they move different. People in general.
Yeah, in
They
general.
move different and stuff. If I know what I see you walking down the street with a little hobble into your leg and everything like that, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I can't assume I know what the fuck's going on with you.
Right.
Even if I went through a similar experience and stuff. But all I know is stuff, whatever. It could have been a war wound. Could that be a sprained ankle? It could be a reason why you're walking like that and stuff. But until I know, once I'm in the knowing,
Yeah.
it's second nature after that.
Right.
Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
You get it.
Like, all right.
There's an understanding.
There's a need that needed to be met.
Right.
So that's the reason why the want's not getting fulfilled now. Eventually the want will get fulfilled.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, see, I feel like there should be no excuses when it comes to like resources and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Because we're in this age right now, like especially the technological side of it, where if you don't know that event, like just look at what kind of problems you might go through as an adult, and then what you can lead and stuff towards your kids and stuff like that. Because you were once a kid too.
Yeah.
Not them. You were in a different time, different setting, but there's still a situation where a conversation has to be had for you to like say like, all right, you know what? This was rough for me. Puberty was rough for me. Money was rough for me.
I'm just wondering if the 60 plus who had said no, I'm wondering if it's a fear of them putting any form of stress on their children, knowing that it might be be a difficult situation. Like I'm trying to understand why you wouldn't.
I have one why and stuff for it, like why I would if I was to say, if I'm to say no, why I won't tell.
Right.
The only thing is that I would want to shield my child to know about, I guess, my financial woes.
Right.
Right, but again, my financial woes being my dependent, is still going to be their financial woes.
It's still their financial woes.
So I don't see the difference why not to just tell them and stuff like that. Not everybody has their shit together or has like born with a silver spoon or born with certain type of things and privileges and bonuses and all the above. Like hell, I know 2 chicks that were born with silver spoons in their mouth, whatever, and they know how to fuck some shit up. Like we're talking about, like, one, her parents are well off.
Okay.
Her parents bought her $1 million house when she got married.
Mm.
$1 million house. She bought a house for 1.2. Babes, you know when you're listening to this, I'm talking about you.
1.2.
1.2. Her mortgage is less than my fucking rent.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
She's in debt out the yin yang. I'm like, you gotta stop. Stop trying to fill your wants, confusing with needs.
Yeah.
You don't need a fucking Peloton bike. That bitch is 4 racks. Okay?
Yeah.
4 racks.
Yeah.
And I'm looking like, yeah, but it's COVID. I'm putting on a little weight. And I was like, fuck it, run up the bill. But that's what I'm saying. Like, some people, they're born with this aspect, and they're still, some people can fuck up a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's still things you want to help teach and prep your children with, whatever.
Of course.
So you went through that. Hopefully they don't have to go through that.
Of course, yeah.
That's what I'm saying and stuff. Like I said, but we live in this time where like there should be no excuse.
Nah, I
There should
agree,
be no
man.
excuse and stuff for
I
that.
agree. I agree.
Like, there's no excuses, period, man. Those motherfuckers out there building pools with sticks.
Let's
They're
talk
building
about it.
pools with sticks.
Let's talk about it.
What is it? Peng, and tandem?
And
And tandem? Folks, this is not their names. We just remixed their names.
we just call it
we're
Pang
just
Pang, 'cause-
particle punks.
Got Pang Pang too wild, man. He's too wild, man. He's too wild.
The man made paint with Mother Nature.
Listen,
Yo.
if you ever had a disparaging thought about living wild in the jungle because you just don't think you could get the creature comforts, I'm here to tell you, man. As long as you can get yourself a little solar panel, these niggas is making they're making it happen.
They making it happen.
They're making it happen, man. You want a pool? You want an underground pool?
They built a house with a water slide.
With a water slide.
With a 2-story house with a water slide. And they put grass. They dug up grass from other places and moved it so they have grass on their doorstep.
They have bamboo piping.
Yeah,
As a water
They
system.
built their own plumbing thing. They're like, no, the water's too far away from them. They're not gonna go back and forth, back and forth. They build their own plumbing thing out of bamboo.
I don't want to hear anybody tell me that they can't.
There's no excuses.
I know, no.
Especially with resources.
There's none.
There's no excuses.
There's none.
Like, if you tell me I can't do this and the third, I'm gonna tag your ass into these videos.
I've been watching. I've been forever watching. If there's a will, there's a way. That's what I'm naming them now from now on. If there's a will, there's a way.
So what? One name's Will, one name's Wade.
One name is Will, the other one's Wade.
That gotta be that be Pang Pang and Tan.
That big Pang Pang and then.
Yo, that's I don't know. What's shit? We digress.
Yes,
We digress.
We'll bring it back.
Let's bring it back. And so let's get to some of the stuff on the docket. Is Mitch McConnell the most hated man in America today? Your thoughts on this?
He just might have bypassed
Trumpet?
Trumpet.
Oh yes, he did.
He might have just bypassed Trumpet.
So why do you think he blocked the stimulus package? First and foremost,
I have no clue. I'm not understanding what's happening
because
in the world.
The funny thing too is that I seen somebody spray painted his door. They went to his house, found his house, spray paint on his door. Where my money at? That's what it says on the front door. So I'm looking like, from all the hardships that America has went through with this COVID,
Yeah.
with the coronavirus,
Yeah.
you would think, because the stimulus checks weren't raining in like other places.
Right.
Canada, we had CERB.
Right.
CERB was popping.
Right.
I think Denmark had it the best. I believe Denmark had it the
There's-
best.
there's been quite a few
There's a few
spots.
countries that had
a
it.
few spots that had it better
had
than
it
the
kind of
US.
Gucci, way better than the U.S.
Yeah.
And the U.S. has been shafting them.
Because I don't think ever since that first check was given was that $1,200 US,
$1,200.
nothing else has been given since.
No. So then when the 600 was blessed the other day,
Right.
that was their other thing. So in total, 1,800.
1,800 in total.
And
now,
go ahead.
with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
you had Canadians that were getting close to, I think two grand was almost the first check that they got.
Yeah.
And they were getting it. What was the frequency?
I think the frequency was about 2 G's a month.
It was 2 G's a month.
2 G's a month.
All right. Okay, so now we see it's a big difference. I mean, let's put it how
Hella
it is. It's a
difference,
big
because
difference.
this one-
And sorry, don't mean to cut you. They just got that 600.
Just got it.
So they've been rocking with just the 1,200 for how many months? They're trying to make that
From
stretch.
like the summer. From like the summertime. So That's a long time to stretch fucking $1,200 when the bill's still coming
The
in.
bill's still coming in.
So yeah. So now you got the 600 that just dropped, a little Christmas, little tackle up, and they said, apparently he said no because of military aspects. For like military aspects and stuff, where the funds, like where would they get the funds from,
Right.
to supply the people with $2,000 for a stimulus, for another stimulus check,
Right.
And he basically bounced it around the stuff where it's more pertaining to defense, military, and homeland security type of stuff and everything like that. So I was like, which could American people feel safer with? $100 billion military or $2,000 in their bank account? You good?
I'm trying to understand this. I'm trying to understand this logic right now. If more than half your population falls because of COVID and the lack of funding to keep them afloat, who are you defending?
The rich.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You've made it make sense to
Not
me again.
the rich, the Mitch. Mitch McConnell.
You've made it make sense to me again. You're right. You're right.
I don't know.
What was I thinking worrying about the poor senseless scum that's beneath the
You got the
1%?
haves and the have-nots, man. I'm telling you, the only time
You got the have and you have rocks.
and when they start launching them rocks at the haves,
Yeah.
they're gonna feel it.
You're gonna feel it more than that pain on the door.
That's the trust. See, I don't know. I always look at it stuff when it comes to the people. Like I feel that you don't like. Yeah, I always say you don't set the bar, and you have to understand the stuff that your situation doesn't dictate the population.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of good, and you're like, what the hell are we gonna do with $2,000 and stuff when your bank account is already sitting at $100,000 saved? Saved. Your house is probably paid off for and everything. You know, property in America is pretty good on pricing and stuff as well. You probably have easy 3 months covered for like emergency purposes, like, you know, bills and utilities. And some people are living check to check.
He's probably got stocks in a few of these companies that been blowing up all over this the past few months. You know what I mean? He's got nothing to worry about.
Nice.
He's got nothing to worry about.
When people come to his door and put where my money at, he got a lot to worry about. Where your military protecting your door from getting vandalized?
It just seems like such a stupid cop out.
It is.
Like you'd like, come on, man. Dude, just say you don't want to give. Just say you don't want to do it. The military. So let's break it down. So okay, how much are they saying that if you give everybody $2,000 in the U.S. to kind of give them a little float? Do they have a ballpark figure of what that looks like?
No, they didn't. But I guess
Because
go ahead.
the military, they get loads of cash as far as funding is concerned. Are we saying that much will really dent it?
You have minimum wage in certain type of states, right? Certain places where the cost of living is like, you can possibly have somebody that makes $28,000 a year,
Right.
right?
Right.
Some people even make lower than that. Some
Right.
people might work casual, shift by shift and everything. So let's say somebody might make $20,000.
Yeah.
One Tomahawk missile is $29,500. This is, I think, from 2016's numbers. That's
Right.
what I see. Sorry, 2015 numbers. A Tomahawk missile costs almost 30 racks. The military, they fine. And it's not like they're supplying the plane with just one Tomahawk missile. They're supplying the plane with probably like 6 Tomahawk missiles.
But here's the thing.
And this is a fleet of planes in one particular place. Continue.
Okay. So how many times a year? You see, this is the funny thing. How many? Let's take an educated guess. Okay. How many times a year do you think they fire off those Tomahawk missiles, versus how many times a year do they restock those Tomahawk missiles?
A year, I'm gonna say once, if even that.
If even that, right?
If even that, and then restocking, I want to say probably restock minimum, probably 100.
Okay, so every year
99 is not being used.
99 is not being used.
Well, remember, America was on the brink of World War III in the beginning of January last year.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they fired off of Soleimani, is that his name? Who the Iraqi military dude?
That's right.
Iranian military dude. Could have been a Tomahawk.
Could have been.
Could have been.
I mean,
Or could have been a more pricier missile.
Could be a more pricey.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Really. They know how to waste money.
I mean, like I think you can miss 1 year
Man, look
budget.
here. To the folks at home, if you haven't seen Nicolas Cage's Lord of War,
That's a good movie.
you need to watch that
Watch that
and
movie.
understand a little budget and stuff on how this thing works. And remember, this is circa specific time.
Yeah.
Times and cost of living has went up and other things have changed. So prices subject to do an influctuation. So I mean, these things happen. But if you're trying to use it as a scapegoat, you're right. But the people will still suffer. But I'm glad they're bringing the static to his front door. Literally.
I'm glad.
Literally.
I'm glad.
I when I seen the vandalization, I was like, I see no harm in this. I'm glad no one went to jail for it.
I think they're living too peaceful and too comfortable.
Yeah.
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 It's about that time that you make them feel uncomfortable.
Trump can make somebody uncomfortable if he released the damn Tiger King on all the pardons he's doing.
Shit.
He could-
You think he gonna release Tiger King?
He should pardon Tiger King.
I don't know though. I don't know if he gonna do it.
One of my people told me, I got to see if it's true or not, whatever. I will let you folks at home and stuff know, but they said if you write to the Tiger King, he actually write back.
Oh,
Because he's
what?
locked up, he got nothing else to do. So
Maybe we should hit him up.
I'm going to hit him up. And tell him,
Hit him up, man.
You know, when you get a little freedom time, if you get a little Zoom call, whatever, Zoom call us. And
Zoom
stuff.
call us?
Yeah,
Why
we'll
not?
have a Podical
Why
thing,
not?
whatever.
Hey, give
Carol
us-
Baskin is an asshole. She needs to
I
be
was about to say,
given-
give us his side of the story.
Yo,
You know what I mean?
we know his side of the story. His shit's wild as is. But Trump is pardoning tons of people.
Mm-hmm.
People are speculating on people that Trump is pardoning. But when I did the actual tally, Trump is still under the numbers compared to Obama, the amount of people Obama pardoned in his 8-year run,
Okay.
in his 8-year tenure.
How
So
many did Obese get?
less than 120. I think it's like 111.
Okay.
I think he did 111, like more than 110, less than 120.
And where's Trump at right now?
As of now, with this week and everything, I think he's only at like 40 something.
Do we have do we know who the all-time leader is?
No.
No?
I don't
Okay.
know that.
That's a
I don't know. But the thing
That's
is
a
stuff
good
that
one to figure
presidents
out.
pardon tons of people.
Oh yeah.
Tons of times, right? So my thing and stuff is that do they presidents pardon for legacy or they pardon for personal choice?
I think a bit of both.
You got to give me one.
All right, if I got to give you one, then I'm going to say for legacy.
Why?
Just the fact that you're leaving the office and you want to leave on a high note. There's probably certain things that you want to do after you exit office. Maybe releasing a certain person might grease some kind of wheel going forward.
But isn't that still personal choice?
It's still a personal choice, but I think
Because if it's to you doing for what you need to do afterwards,
Yeah.
that's still a personal choice move.
yeah.
That's not really a legacy move, like for the.
But you're also trying to secure your legacy, right? Like if you, a personal choice, you could just release whoever, right? But if you're releasing a specific person because you know so and so favors that person, and when you do that, you look good in so and so's eyes. They're really securing your legacy. So I think a lot of these presidents on their way out. They're doing stuff to make sure they're comfortable going into wherever they're getting into next.
I see, like the people that Trump is pardoning now is more towards the personal choice side. Like a lot of people who got caught up in stuff with his whole Ukrainian scandal
Right.
and other little thwarts to and fro. He's been freeing them up and everything. Be like, I know we made you take the grunt and the shame of this, but I got you now. You're exonerated.
Yeah, but remember with Trump, though, with Trump it's a little bit tricky because when he's out, he's got a lot of suits that's probably gonna come his way. So he's got to make sure whoever can snap and help snap back at him, he's got to kind of make things right with them and kind of, you know what I mean. So I can see why he would free certain people.
Right. So you see, like his 40 plus and counting, because he had to January 21st. Then you have Obama, where Obama did a good portion of his more on legacy purposes.
Yeah.
Like I want to say, there's a few like civil rights people that got into it, that they got pardoned and they got exonerated. Some people and stuff I want to say for like the working man in specific places. I guess like certain cases that kind of got to him probably was moving him and realized it had an effect on the people and everything too. That as well. Like I think he said if he was in power at the time, he would have exonerated Tukey Williams,
Okay.
the former Crip.
Right.
Because he's like, he's seen the growth and change and stuff within him, but at the time he wasn't in the seat.
You think with these last few days left, you think Kim K can get in there and get one more freed?
Possible.
You know what I mean?
Possible.
Parting gesture?
I don't know. Like I said, the reason I say possible and stuff right now, because I don't think it's for anybody else but for personal choice for Trump.
For Trump.
Like the same thing you're saying about the suits.
Yeah.
It has to be for you now. Like I feel like in your tenure, like in the beginning, it's kind of like for legacy purpose. You know, like something that might be defining.
Right.
But I think like in the
But
end
on the exit now, you got to, yeah.
Because kind of like if you know you're going to quit your job, and stuff. Whatever. Are you really doing the most? You already give your 2 weeks in and stuff, whatever.
Yeah, you put your 2 weeks in.
You put your 2 weeks in. Are you really doing the most?
No.
You know when you're leaving.
What you're doing at that desk is setting up things that's to happen after you leave.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody came to you and said, hey, you mind if you can make these copies for such and such, whatever? Like, say if you're at an office job, you mind make these copies for me and everything? Are you gonna really be gun-ho to do it? Like, I see you're not doing anything. Would you mind doing these? You'd be like, nah, I'm good. That's what I'm saying. Kim K, hey, I got a few more people to pardon. Nah, I'm good over here. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, I don't know.
That's the least person you can trust. The person on this 2 weeks out. He's not doing shit.
Yeah, I'm afraid of those.
Yeah,
people.
you can't give them any work to do.
I'm afraid of those
happening.
people.
It's not happening.
Whatever.
Yeah.
In general, I had a nurse. She rolled up on me and stuff before the holiday, like before New Year's run. So she's like, "Oh, I want to make sure this and this and this is good and everything like that." She's asking for she's like, can we get some betadine and stuff like that? I'm like, you know what? Fuck betadine is iodine.
Okay.
Iodine.
Yeah.
Right. So she's like, you know what? I don't even care. So I'm like, why? Why? She's like, January 4th, I'm working in a new hospital. So I'm like, oh, he's like, fuck us? She's like, this is someone else's problem now. It's not mine. And I was like, spoken like a true Republican. That's what I told her. And she looked at me. She's like, I'm not a Republican. I'm Canadian. I'm a conservative. I was like, oh, my bad.
Spoken like a true conservative.
I'm like, my bad.
Spoken like a true conservative.
My bad. Yo, but I was like, she's like, what's wrong with being conservative? I'm like, nothing. But I see you on your fuck you level. My apologies. Didn't realize it was so soon.
Fuck you.
So she's like, yeah, she's out. So I don't think people on the exit is really gonna say too much.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of which, who embodies Christian and Catholic values more? Conservatives or liberals? Republicans or Democrats?
I want to say Republicans.
I got my money on them too.
Yeah, I want to say Republicans.
See, I said that and stuff for them because, like, the Bible is more pro-life type of stuff.
Right.
And anti-gay.
Right.
That's Republicans.
I was about to say there's
That's conservative.
two platforms with it.
It's like, could you be a gay person and be conservative? Is it possible, you think?
Yes.
And then could you be abortion, like all for abortion, anti-life?
And be Republican?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
at that point, where they consider you though, is that considered bipartisan? Because you can be Republican on certain issues, but feel a certain way on others.
other issues, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like if you're gonna take a stance and stuff, whatever, like I'd rather go with the bipartisan aspect.
Right.
Right. I always tell everybody I'm centered. Like if you go with the centered thing and stuff, whatever, what you vote doesn't really reflect exactly who you are.
Right.
But it's pertaining to, I guess, what your wants and needs is at that particular time.
Because you always hear people to describe people like that, like he's so and so, but he's leaning more to the left, or
Right.
they're so and so, but they lean more to the right.
But then you have some people and stuff that's like
That's
they'll tell you they're diehard liberal,
right.
diehard Dem,
Yeah.
and they do shit or they agree with some shit from the damn Republican. Like, are you on cocaine?
No, nigga, stay true.
Salute to the drug dealers again. This is the dope boy episode or something. Yo, it has to be. But as I'm saying, I'm looking at them like, it's so confused. Because, all right, I had a conversation one time and stuff, right? With a quote unquote liberal person that said they would never vote conservative. I asked them and stuff for them, like, they're like, oh, pro life all the way. So I'm like,
Right.
That's conservative.
Yeah.
No, I'm a liberal. So I'm like, lady she getting hyped. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, calm down. So I'm like, she's like, why are you aborting lives? Whatever. So I said, okay, let's say you have a woman who has a high risk pregnancy that might fuck with her life.
Right.
Her life might be in the balance. They say, you have this baby, more likely you might pass.
Right.
You don't, you have other options of adopting and all that type of stuff. Should she abort the baby or she should keep going? She looked at me, she said, keep going. It's like she might die. It's in God's plan. I was like, oh shit.
And that was a quote from Drake.
I was like, yo, it's kind of scary out here. I was like, that's a conservative kind of way of thinking.
Viewpoint, yeah.
And I don't think that's liberal at all.
I don't think that's
That doesn't
no,
describe
this seem-
liberal.
this
Liberal
seem
has
too-
no flexibility.
This seemed too liberal
You
to
know,
me.
the kind of curve with it. You know,
Yeah.
they got the curvature to them.
Yeah, the liberal person would have said, "Well,
I can adopt.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah."
I don't. Just a thought. Just a thought. Let's talk about what are good and bad vibes and what they mean to you.
Good and bad vibes.
You and I both have a person in mind.
Mm-hmm.
That person shall remain nameless. We only name dropping Shannon on this episode.
only Shannon get the name.
One name drop per several months because we don't name drop on this thing, whatever. But what are good and bad vibes and stuff to you? Because I realized that like when I was we had the whole EQ thing,
Right.
sorry, emotional intelligence
Right.
convo.
Yeah.
It was deep and it was understanding and people was digging it and people loved it. And by the way, the feedback for beauty. If y'all missed the last episode of
yes.
this fucker's definition of beauty, you need to go hit rewind. You need to go back to that last episode.
Hit rewind. They liked that one.
Because, hot damn, that shit was fire. Let me tell you, any man drop that to a woman now,
Yeah. Yeah.
panties slide right off because they're that wet.
All right, we might throw that one on a t-shirt.
Yo, you're goddamn right.
Mark that one down for t-shirt then.
But what do they mean to you? Good or bad vibes? People always claim they have them.
Well, of course, for me, it's always going to be a type of feeling that I get. So, when I have a good vibe, it's usually set off by a type of feeling that may have started in the day. Like, let's say I woke up and I realized I got paid. right?
Okay.
So I'm on a high from that. Now, being on a high from that, I think I'm more perceptive or receptive to anything energy wise on that level.
All from payday.
Just you know what I mean? From
Okay.
like, so I'll get up and then I might turn on the radio.
You don't turn on the radio any other day?
I
Fuck
mean,
a radio?
I'm just saying I might turn on the radio.
Oh, okay.
This is just an example, right? And a song will come on, right? And it may not be the world's greatest song, but it's a good vibe that's already adding on to the vibe I'm already starting off with.
So what if it's,
So I gotta hear the song and I'm like, oh shit, oh they playing this? I'm already in this good vibe. So now it's just adding to the vibe.
so what if they play a song that you don't like?
If they play a song that I don't like,
Yeah.
two things might happen. My vibe might be so good from this morning
That you'll ignore that?
that I'm like, it's not that. I might make excuse for it because I don't want to come down, right? Or I might make it wreck my vibe. Oh,
What?
that sucks.
Kendrick Lamar. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. That's what it is. You see, I had to go into Rafiki mode.
You have to go into Rafiki mode.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
But then the problem with that is, if I feel like if I succumb to that negativity, I'm only attracting more negativity. So then I'll notice. Then I'll probably stand a better chance of noticing the next thing that may not be so pleasing, and is opposed to making it turning it around to something pleasing like I did the first time when I heard the song and it may have not been, because I'm already done. I'm already saying, oh, what the hell are they playing this for? They ain't playing nothing but garbage on the radio. They might, you know what I mean? Dog, this sucks. Nothing's going right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Based off our two events now. And then now that I'm just, everything that is negative, I might be more in tune now. So for me, it's a feeling.
Okay, is that a natural thing? Is picking up like good or bad vibe like a natural sense? Or is it a skill?
No, I think it's a natural sense.
Why? Because I don't feel like it's a natural thing.
The reason why I say natural, it's almost like I view it like a sixth sense type of deal,
Okay.
right? That's not a skill.
That's an ability.
That's an innate ability.
It's just, it happens.
Right. So that's how I sort of like that vibe, that feeling of a vibe. I kind of put it towards that innate feeling of that, like that sixth sense. That's what that vibe is.
And I disagree. See, my aspect and stuff, I look at it as that you not knowing, you're using your sight,
Right.
smell,
Right.
touch,
Right.
hearing,
Right.
and taste,
Right.
right?
Right.
These things are automatic. Is it automatic that a person can pick up on stranger danger?
Maybe not automatic, but
So that's a skill then. You learned that. You acquired that.
if without using those senses that you just mentioned, right? If someone walks up behind you and you feel their presence, is that a skill?
And if you feel their presence?
Yeah, is that a skill?
Yeah.
But how is that a skill? If you because you can't practice that. You can't train for that. So how does that become a skill?
Because I feel like there's certain type of things and stuff which your other senses would kind of kick in to overdrive
Right.
for people to get kind of blinded. Did you hear the person? Did you see a person in your peripheral?
No.
Do you smell a person?
No.
And that's what I'm saying. These
None
other
of that,
things,
yeah.
but people tend to forget these other aspects and other
Right,
traits
right.
before
Right.
a situation will come up.
Right.
Right? It's kind of like some people has a better sense of smell, a better sense of hearing than others. You get
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And that person, their other senses and stuff, whatever, could have been blocked by something where like they might have a greater ability of hearing.
Okay.
So let's say something else kind of killed some of their hearing. They could have heard the person come up behind them from footsteps. They could have felt the person breathing on their neck.
Right.
That's still a sense of touch.
Right.
So there's certain type of aspects and stuff within those senses realm. That's why I'm saying like no in my world.
Right. But then there's a situation where you don't, like I said, none of those senses are involved,
Right.
but you can still feel that presence.
Yeah, because it goes back to energy, aura, and vibe,
Right.
and good
Okay.
vibes. Yeah.
So is that a skill?
You learn that.
You learn that.
You learn that.
How do you learn that? How do you learn something like that?
I think the thing and stuff was that goes back to the parental aspect.
Right.
It goes back to the parental aspect and everything like that. Because your parents might tell you, be aware of your surroundings.
Okay.
I know my mom always told me and stuff. She's like, wherever the exit is, see if you can find another one.
Right.
And she said, if you can't find another one and stuff, whatever, don't stray too far from the exit.
Right.
Right? That right there is taught to me
Yes.
from a young age and stuff, whatever. So now, without knowing, I want to say it kind of becomes like a natural ability and stuff. But if I walk into somewhere, I'm like, holy fuck, this studio only got one exit. I was like, I'm going to shatter this bitch if I need to go out to the window.
Right.
But right now, we only have one exit and everything like that. That was taught from I want to say, experiences and stuff. Like experiences make the person. Because if you're a child and you don't know anything better and stuff, whatever, your sixth sense doesn't kick in. These kids will get kidnapped and stuff, whatever. I'm pretty sure, like, these sixth sense would have, if it was a sixth sense, it would have probably kicked in before somebody would have snatched and grabbed.
But how do you know? How do you know it didn't kick in? It's just the reaction wasn't what it should have been.
We don't, unless they're ones that come back.
Right.
If they're the ones that
so
come,
we can't say that their sixth sense hasn't kicked in.
yeah, but I don't call that. See,
in.
and I don't call that a sixth sense. Vibe and energy. I don't really call it a sixth sense. I feel like that's a skill you have to learn because, and that's the case. You have adults going through shit relationships with bad energy people. You have an ability to read energies and vibes and everything like that. I can come in with boom shika. I just saw Fresh Prince. That's why. By the way, that's why you call cheesecake boom shika.
Boom shika.
So I could be with boom shika.
Yeah.
And I got my graduation goggles on. Like, everything she does is flawless and beautiful to me. And you're like, this chick about to empty your bank account. How do you not see this? Whatever, right? I don't see that vibe. I don't got that vibe. I don't have that skill.
Right.
I have to learn that.
But why would you assume that it's a skill, though? Because that's, okay, that same situation,
Experiences is part of, like, learning.
Okay, that same situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was in, this was when I was working for The Gap. I was away for a week, right? I came back.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say, before you continue, you do a lot of fucking things. Shout out to Not Your Average Joseph for doing every goddamn job. True fucking Jamaican that he is to the extent. Continue, sir.
When I came back, right,
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of the shift, they always have like a little work huddle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so there's this one dude that was in the work huddle, right? Don't know him from Adam.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time I seen him, right? But the vibe that I got from this person, like, it was so I could cut it. Like, it was so intense. Like, it just made me feel. I don't know this person from, mind you, I don't know this person from Adam.
Is it good or bad?
No, it's just shitty, shitless vibe.
Like a negative vibe.
Yeah, like
Okay,
just like
okay.
just negative.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know this person. I've never experienced this person before in my life.
Correct.
Right? Turns out my vibe was absolutely
On point.
dead on. How do I explain that? Because I don't train for that. I don't think of it as a skill. I just felt like this. It's just like an overwhelming sense of negativity came over me.
But okay, so we agree that chances and choices are the things you leave at the house and stuff like that. And you took a chance to say the person is bad, and the person probably proved themselves that they were a bad person. But what if, like, it's kind of like a chemtrail for humans, whatever, right? They did legit studies where, like, you can go into a specific kind of mortuary.
Right?
You can go into a part in the mortuary and you can pick up the vibe that people cried. Because humans, we expel secretions from our body. right? Sweat. Sometimes sweat has fear in there.
Right.
Sometimes it has adrenaline in it.
Okay.
You know, tears and stuff as well. This person could have went through some stuff before you laid eyes on them, whatever, right?
Right.
Fuck it. Their goldfish could have died. Their past due notice and stuff, whatever. Some electrical bill is about to get shut down or some shit. And they spill coffee on their shirt or on their clothes and stuff, whatever. Then you lay eyes on said person. All the doom and gloom feeling that they were feeling, whatever, is from the things that happened to them prior.
Right.
But you now laying eyes on a person and stuff is kind of using that to kind of judge the person.
Okay,
for the first thing.
Okay, but what is that? How is that a skill though?
What? Well, how's it a skill?
Yeah.
But you're assuming, but because that person could be a positive person across the board.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not basing my assumption on the appearance.
Yeah, you're just going by how you feel.
Yeah, this is like because this
How
person,
the person makes you feel.
He looks go happy just like everybody else, and we're in a room full of people, right? It's just only that person's negative energy. I feel, and it's not like I can say it's a situation where every time we're in a huddle, I can feel somebody's energy.
Right.
No, it was just this one time where it just felt weird. And it just felt off. But it's not something where I can walk into a room and say, I know I'm gonna get a negative vibe from that person just by just by seeing how it. No, I actually.
But were you okay? So were you always picking up on vibes? What's the earliest What's the earliest memory of you picking up a vibe, good or bad vibe, in a place? Because if you tell me like 4 years old, I bet say you're fucking gifted.
My earliest memory of picking up a vibe, I want to say probably would be around 17, 18.
Okay. And what happened? You remember that situation?
Situation was, I was talking to this girl, right? We're out of a barbecue, a friend's barbecue. I was talking to this girl, and it was just us two in the back. We were just back at the house, us two. Everybody else was in the front and so forth like that. We were out at a barbecue, so we were talking. We were just having a normal conversation.
Yeah, just conversing.
Right? It was the wind blew, right? And when the wind blew between us, I don't know how to describe it, but I literally felt like my energy, and I literally felt her energy to the point where I looked at her and I go, "Did you feel that?" Right? And she looked back at me and she goes, "Yes." So at that point, I knew I wasn't bugging. Like at some point, there was an exchange of energy.
Right.
So I was like, "Yo, you think we should?" We should. And she's like, "No, because I used to talk to one of your boys, and we never went further. Never discussed it further than that.
We could have been.
We could have been.
We could have been.
Who knows, right? But just the fact that, and again, it wasn't a skill. It was nothing like it was something that just I felt.
Right.
And I don't know how to explain it. Like if I could say if it was a skill, then I could know how I got to that point or how I got to that feeling, right? Because it's something that I've trained for. It's something that I prepared for. It's something that I know I can get to, right? But if it's just happening like that to me.
So okay, the vibe you got from her was a good vibe.
It was a good it was a good vibe.
But you don't think somewhere in your memory banks before you were taught when you know a good thing, you go for it? Or when, you lean into the good?
You know why I was saying, why I say it wouldn't have been that? Because neither of our vibes were on that. It's not like we were chatting it up for the sake of chatting it up, right?
Yeah.
It was just like, yo,
regular conversation.
It's just a regular conversation. It's just this vibe now comes in and says, hey, no, this is supposed to be more, whether you two know it or not.
Right.
This is supposed to be more than just a regular conversation.
But I mean, that's how I feel like a lot of times when I have conversations with certain type of people.
Yeah.
Like to me, I converse and talk about every goddamn thing. I ain't no shame in my game.
Yeah.
I talk about everything, wherever, whenever. And to me, it's a regular conversation. To someone else, it's more in depth to them.
Right.
Or like, I'm not saying it doesn't have any validity or no depth on my side.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like might be my arrogance. I feel like human beings should be able to talk like this, like how we talk on a podcast.
Right.
On a regular. You don't wait for a fucking holiday. You don't wait for a specific day of the week. You go at it when you go out, when time permits.
Yes.
When time permits, you go at it. Period.
Yes.
So my thing and stuff, I'm taking the conversation just as is, but this person and stuff is just more deep into it.
Right.
When the person wants to go more lean into it and everything like that, person said to me, it was a guy, like, yo, I kind of like what you're saying and everything like that. He's like, I'm not gay though.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Where you going with that? That's a hell of an entry thing, right? I'm like, how'd you start? He's like, yeah, I want to talk more about this, but I'm going this way. I'm like, oh, you want to swap out numbers?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's all good. I'm
Yeah.
like, so, I'm like, I have a podcast and we talk about things like this all the damn time and stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It was just exchange of good energy,
And
but you lean in.
I get that,
Go
right? But that's based off of stimulating conversation, sparks up in his head, right? That says, yo, there's something much more, even if it's just to me, there's something much more than this conversation that I'm vibing off of. He caught the vibe off of that, right?
Right.
I'm just saying.
But you probably had stimulating conversation. Like, it could have been a normal conversation in your world,
Yeah.
but it could have been stimulating on her side.
Right.
And the reason why she said no is because of set friend in the past.
But what I'm saying though is that okay, I get that, but we're not talking about like anything that would say, and anything that would I would consider that would say, okay, I need to lean into this conversation, or anything that I would have said that we were just talking just
To you.
regular shit.
To you.
But I'm saying even to her, we were just
How do
talking
you
regular
can't speak
shit.
for her?
No,
You can't speak for her.
I'm saying we were just talking regular shit.
And I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just some things and stuff, whatever is that
But even if she felt it, even if she felt the energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even if it was to her, that still doesn't explain me feeling the energy and what it did to me.
No. We're not taking that away. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh.
let's say the conversation was that good,
Right.
whatever. Like, side note, before I continue with that, there's tons of women I have conversation with.
Yeah.
Like, I guess women that I will be trying to pursue.
Yeah.
And they said having a conversation with me is like a breath of fresh air,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I guess typical dude, like my species, you hurt my heart sometimes. They'll say some shit like, yo, last time you sucked some dick, can you ride the dick? Like Meg Thee Stallion. And so then when they're having a conversation about life and general things and stuff that people should be having a conversation about, it's a breath of fresh air.
Listen,
you had a conversation.
A conversationalist is a real thing.
Yes.
It's a real thing.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and you have people who can do it, and you have people who can't. That's
a skill.
It is. It's a skill. It
It's
is
a skill. And the conversation and stuff, whatever, she probably said to herself, like, well, me and Seth, I guess I'm your chick that got away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, me and Nacha Joseph over here, we're having a nice conversation. Nothing about him getting my panties. And about anything he wants from me.
He's not on that tip.
He's not on that tip. He seems like a decent guy. If he didn't know such and such, I would ride his dick till the sun come up. But because you know such and such, this is why I can't go anywhere past this normal, healthy conversation.
Okay.
Bad bitch and scene. As you are, good man.
So maybe she didn't feel the vibe, but she just shut it down. Is that what you're saying? Get the fuck out.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. I was
We
like,
both felt the vibe. Damn it. And I'm leaving it like that.
yeah.
I was like, did you feel it? She's like, I felt it too.
Like, because my thing and stuff is that I always ask people, like, yo, how the hell could you guys decipher good and bad vibes from like, even an introvert or a reclusive person?
Yeah.
Right? I'm an extrovert.
Right.
You're an extrovert.
Yeah.
And we're both social butterflies.
Right.
I don't expect the world to operate like how we operate and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I see a person kind of back, kind of, I want to say not standoffish, but their introvert true form is showing,
Yeah.
I'm not going to treat them any different. But then there's some other people and stuff might look at like, why is he or she moving like that? And some people give off some shaky energy, some sketchy vibes and stuff, whatever, too, whatever, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like if I go somewhere, I see a dude just sitting down, I'm like, this is the door? Yeah, life is good. What? UFOs are coming and stuff for them? My man, why is you keep looking at the door like that?
Expecting somebody?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yo, you know something I don't know? Are they trying to kick in? Is the feds coming? And he talks to his chest like, no, feds aren't coming in. I'm like, are you wearing a wire? Shaky vibes will trip me out.
Right.
But I can't assume that person has negative energy.
So have you never been amongst a person where you just felt like their energy might be a little bit different, or just felt like it might be a little bit off, or you just
I want to say this.
I know you like, even in a situation you'll overstep that.
What do you mean?
With your logic and say,
you know me too well. I'll bring it in.
I know that,
Yeah.
but before you overstep that, has there ever been a situation where
in the past, Younger Marv, absolutely.
Okay.
Younger Marv and stuff. I remember I went to one place, whatever, right? A friend of mine brought me to I guess like a little, I want to call it like a mission, like a little. We're like, Marv, there's some girls over here and stuff. There's like 5 or 6 girls over there. And it's 3 of us. I'm like, all right, we just gonna roll out, go over there. I'm like, are you sure? They're like, yeah. Like one of the girls got her other guy friend there, and he brought a friend. So it's like it's still more women than it is guys. So I'm like, okay,
yeah,
cool. When I got there, this is in here. This is in Mississauga actually. This is in Canada. When I got there, though, I was talking, and the guy's like, yo, you're from the States?
right?
So I'm like, yeah, Cleveland, right? So he's like.
Hey, look at you, got your Cleveland shirt on.
I got my Cleveland shirt on today.
You got your Cleveland shirt on.
Dad, look at that.
There you go. Represent.
What represent? Look at that. So he's like, you're from the States? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, some of y'all niggas move kind of grimy though, especially the New Yorkers. I'm like, yeah, this is Cleveland, Ohio. So, it's not Cleveland, New York.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's a Cleveland, New York. So I'm like, I can't speak for New Yorkers.
Right.
I am not a New Yorker.
Right.
Was there, been there.
Yeah. Know about it.
Know about it, but I'm not a New Yorker. So I kind of try to turn my energy back, turn my attention back to that light-skinned girl that was on my attention. Oh my gosh. I was like, you like me? She's like, I do. I like everything about you. I never been with an American guy. I'm like, neither have I. I don't sleep with American men. I don't sleep with regular men. So I'm like, we're good to go. And he's like, yo, so Cleveland don't do no kind of grimy stuff? I'm like, bruh, are we out here trying to get vagina? Like, yo, I thought that was the mission. It's not, let's talk to the next guy that might seem kind of different.
Right.
And I was like, I should dip. I told girl, I'm like, let me take your number and everything. And she's like, no, she drove. She'll take me home.
Yeah.
So I was like, I told my people, I'm like, I'll holler.
Yeah.
Because she's taking me back to the house. I didn't score that night. Eventually I did.
Right.
Because we were kind of, something blossomed for a bit. But I'm like, we're in the car and she's like, what was that about? That dude was just all on you. She's like, was he gay? I'm like, I don't know. But I'm like, I got a bad vibe from him.
Right.
That if I didn't answer certain type of things and stuff, whatever,
yeah,
he would have got offended. And he then, young men, flexing bravado and saying it with your chest. A bad altercation was going to arise.
Yeah.
So like my spider sense or my bad vibe sense just kind of kicked in.
See, in a situation like that, I would say skill.
Because I've been in several situations like that before. Yeah.
So I would say your skill recognizes the bad vibe.
Yes. Jeez.
Yeah, I would say in a situation.
Jeez.
Yes,
Because I've seen
sure.
situations stuff like
sure.
that arise and stuff before in the past.
But I'll give you one more situation and then we can wrap it up real quick. Swift, shout out to Swift.
Oh shit. 2 name drops.
Back in the day, anytime when we would go out, and I don't know if it's the same type of, it could be the same type of just scouring the room and then getting a certain vibe from what you perceive, how the room is. But there'll be tons of times where we'll be at a club or we'll be at a party and he'll be like, yo, my vibe is telling me let's go. And
Yeah, you spoke about a
Yeah.
situation where you guys avoided gunshots and everything like that too, right?
And because I'm so used to this dude's vibe being right, I never question whenever he says that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
I
have a friend like that
Yeah.
too. One of my friends and stuff, whatever, is a female.
Yeah,
She's like, nah, I'm not feeling this.
yeah,
And when she says she's not feeling it, she's like, I feel like something's about to happen, whatever, right? And the very first time she said it, I didn't adhere to it.
yeah.
I think a fight broke out and something else happened and stuff, all in that one notion. And by the time like people went to go call her or stuff, whatever, I'm like, oh shit, you got out. She's like, I'm home in my bed laying down.
Yeah,
And I was like,
told you.
she said like, you didn't feel that?
Yeah.
I'm like, feel what? I felt nothing but sweat and I was grinding and dancing on the chick. She's like, yeah, because you were thinking with your dick. She's like, you didn't feel like something was amiss gonna come over? I'm like, no, Miss Cleo. Only you can see that shit and only you can prevent forest fires like Smokey the Bear said, because I didn't feel shit. So that's what I'm saying. That must be a skill you acquired.
Right.
And eventually I've come to that point and stuff now too. I walk into a place and I'm like, yeah, I'm only here for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Good night, folks. And I'm out.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
And I said, I've learned that ability and stuff because I was like, yo, teach me. So when she says some shit, I don't question.
Oh yeah. When he says it's time to go, it's time to go.
Like my thing and stuff is that, like, to wrap up, don't be so quick to judge when you're getting a bad vibe from someone, because you don't know exactly what's taking place, right?
No.
You don't know and stuff. Like I said, there could be so many things and stuff behind it. Mental health is a hell of a thing and stuff as well too. They might not be a person possibly on the spectrum. They move kind of different from what your norm is.
Yeah. Yeah.
From what your norm is.
And it's funny because I tried to give dude the benefit of the doubt, and
But
tried
he proved
to just
himself.
he proved himself, and every time I just kept, when you just try to say, okay, nah, maybe it's just me, maybe it's bugging. I try to find something. And it's like, nah, this dude is, and this dude ended up getting.
Shout out to this dude, by the way.
Ended up because he was a supervisor, right? Ended up getting the dude who hired him fired, took over his position, and then left in 3 weeks.
Damn.
This dude was great. He was grimy.
Yeah. So I take back my shout out on this dude. Fuck you, this dude.
This dude he was one of those. He's like, yeah, I see it. You're a real asshole, and my vibe was just right about you. It was just right about you.
Yo, all right. Good talk.
Yeah, good talk.
Good talk.
It's therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah.
Poetry in motion. That's what I call it, baby. Let's get to the question of the week.
Question of the week.
Question of the week. What is something that you used to believe about yourself that you no longer believe?
That I used to believe about myself that I no longer believe. That I'm liked by everyone.
I used to think I was special.
You used to think you're special?
I was full of myself and stuff, especially like when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was full of myself, like I had like some, I want to say not far from realistic goals or like aspects and stuff for that, but it's gonna happen for me because I'm special.
Right.
And I think that sense of entitlement and stuff got kind of crushed. I want to say when I started school, when I started like university, college, I got like a sense of awakening because I want to say in my world, like I want to say like from in my high school and stuff, South High Flyers, RIP. My high school don't exist no more. No, it's a desolate wasteland now. But I graduated within the top 10 of my class. I wasn't valedictorian. But I graduated in that, National Honor Society, certain type of things, stuff about me. So in my head, I was kind of elated,
Right.
right?
Right.
I wasn't to the point like you can't tell me nothing, but like I can do anything if I put my mind to it.
Right.
People outskilled and shined over me like it was nothing, and I had to. Before I was taken away, say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm not so special and everything." I had to realize, like, yo, if you think you're good, there's
Yeah.
always somebody better out there, better they can do whatever.
You telling me that story reminds me of the black character in Euphoria, the football player.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
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 When he went to college and he
He
thought
was
he's
like the
gonna
high
be like,
school star. He was gonna be like the NFL, this, that, and he went to college and he's like, yo, I'm riding pine. I'm riding pine, baby.
Yo.
I'm riding pine. But yeah, I mean, it's like that. Like within your circle, you're always the man until you enter another circle and you just see that, hey,
just as soon as you think you're the big fish of the pond,
yeah.
when we move your ass from another body of water, it's reality check, baby.
Reality check.
Get paid with it. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good shit. All right, let's get to the Ask the Sons. First Ask the Sons question comes from Board Tricks. I like how they spell tricks. Should couples in long-term relationships sleep in the same bed or separate?
Same bed.
This is a good...
I'm gonna say same bed.
You said that so fast. Yeah, okay. I'm on the fence.
You're on the fence? Why are you on the fence?
I'm gonna get some trouble for this, but I get in trouble any goddamn way. Anyway, I'm for same bed, and I'm for separate. I'm for same bed because I like to cuddle.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I like to cuddle. I like, I like the feeling of a nice woman next to me, much as a woman
Okay.
I'm into.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a sense of comfort to me.
Right.
Now, if said woman is of an older age demographic and her body is now going through menopause,
Okay. Yep.
and she has a hot flash one good night,
Experiencing hot flashes.
or a few hot nights,
Yeah.
I can't cuddle with her because my body heat is already pissing her the fuck off.
Yeah. It's the towering inferno right now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's dead of winter outside. She might want to open up the window
Okay.
to kind of get to that equilibrium of cooling sensation.
Yes.
I sleep in boxes and socks. She not about to open no goddamn window and stuff, whatever. We gonna be peachy keen and stuff like that. No, you go downstairs, you open up this, you go in the living room and all this type of stuff.
Right.
She's like, yeah, but babe, I'm tired. Maybe we should get 7 bedrooms. How about that? Or you have your bed where I mummify myself up in cocoon status, and you do the same thing. And I sleep with a damn scully on and everything. Tooks for the Canadians listening.
You know what she gonna do?
I'm gonna get a new woman because she probably gonna doubt me.
She gonna give you every argument on why you should get a more comfortable couch for the living room. She gonna find a way to benefit everybody.
I do not buy uncomfortable couches. So
She's gonna find a way to benefit everybody.
when I'm buying a couch, I'm already buying for the purpose that I might fuck around and sleep on this shit.
Okay, well then it's solved.
Hey! Opa! All right. Nisi_N. How do you improve your self-confidence?
That's a good one.
I'm gonna say it starts with your posture. Your posture is definitely one.
Yes.
I would start with posture because I want to say, I guess the doom and gloom status, you tend to feel a type of way like when you're in the relaxed type of position, but when you're sitting with your chest upright, posture is good, you're more receptive to things and stuff to kind of come your way now.
Right. Yep.
Alert. So I think posture for me.
I would say posture and also preparedness.
Preparedness. What does that mean?
Like, for instance, you want to exude, was it confidence?
Yeah.
Let's say you're going for a job interview, right? The more ahead of time that you've researched about that job or that particular company or that particular field that in, the more confident you can be in giving meaningful answers during an interview. The more confident you'll be in not looking like a idiot if you're asked a certain question.
I get it.
You know what I mean? So preparedness, I think, goes a long way in helping.
So
your
if you're
confidence.
interested into a person and you have a little backing or research and stuff on them, you're more confident before you do approach the person
Exactly.
as well.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you know if you already did your research and you know what the things that you like, you're more confident on the date
Right.
because you now plan things to make the date go well based upon what you already know.
Right. Because the person, like, even if you're gonna go check like a friend or something like that, whatever, and they're like, every now and then I love to drink a good Heineken beer.
Yeah.
I want to check Heineken for saying that.
Yeah, we want to check. Cut a check, man.
But even if they say I like this, and then you come through the door with 6 ice cold Heinekens, I
Right.
want another check. They'd be like, oh my gosh, yes, yeah, thank you. Wow, this made my day.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I had,
Yeah.
So you're right. Preparedness would help with confidence and stuff as well. Mm-hmm. Because like if you're unconfident about an exam, you didn't study. You studied. You walk in that bitch with a smile.
Yeah.
Like, I got this. I'm about to knock this out and keep it moving. Okay. Nice. Last question comes from Phantom Cowgirl.
Phantom Cowgirl.
It sound like you know what? Hey, be Marv. I'm not going to be Marv. I'm just going to be good. Phantom Cowgirl. What decade would you go back and live in? I got 2 decades. A toss up for me.
Okay.
One decade for me and stuff would definitely be like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got like the 90s. Because with the 80s to me, I always feel like after coming off like that hippie vibe,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say certain type of, as a black man, certain type of freedoms and liberties and stuff, whatever, wasn't as harsh as like the earlier decades.
Right.
And it was kind of a little bit more relaxed. And I feel like that vibe and stuff, I can always vibe. Like, when I get to my 80s bag, if I'm playing some Diddle, I only think of you on 2 occasions. I'm in my bag. If I'm in my 80s bag, I want to stay there. Like, I'll ride most of the day until something interrupts that.
Yeah.
And then, like, in the 90s aspect, come on, man, we spoke about this, man. Podcast episode, Shake What Your Mama Gave You. I'm sad I miss fucking Freaknik. I'm sad I miss like those Carabana days where you guys were wilding out. Like too hot for TV type of shit. Those type of things. I was a kid then. I was like, to be an adult at that time.
It's funny because when you say that,
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was an adult in the 70s during that whole flower power. Hippie freedom movement.
Freedom!
You know what I mean?
No AIDS existed. Freedom!
That's the decade I wish I was in, but even more so than that, the era of time I would like to have been in that whole Egyptian dynasty era.
Shit.
Like I would have loved to be around that time, just like to see like the pyramid and it's like it's full glory, like just finished, done, polished, like how those cities would just be marble like I would love to be in that time to see that. Yeah, I think that would be amazing.
But them cats didn't live too long. Like, didn't King Tut and them die like some teenage stage?
Yeah, royalty didn't live that long, but I'm not sure I think the commoners lived a little bit longer than. Because I think Tut had medical issues.
And what about the commoners?
I want to say they maybe probably 80s around there.
Nah, commoner, you gonna have to drag some damn blocks to the damn pyramid they gotta build. So I don't know if you're gonna make it to like the 80s. The way your back gonna be broken with all those slave whips thing too. You kind of dark skinned, my G.
But you're a good slave. I mean, you can push around.
You're
80s.
a good slave. Oh!
So you push around 80s if you're
house nigga.
You seen them palaces?
He's like, I don't care.
You seen them palaces? Shit, nigga be fanning.
fan or move blocks. I'm gonna definitely fan.
I'm
the fuck
fanning,
out.
bro.
I'm a fan. Like,
I'm fanning, bro.
You know those guys with the signs, with the twirling signs? I
Yeah.
will fan the fuck like that. I'll do good at my job. They're like,
Imagine you got the. Okay. Marv. Move stones or drop grapeth in moutheth. Grapeth in moutheth, please.
grapes in mouth. I don't care how suspect that sounds. I will drop them damn
I'm
grapes in
dropping
that mouth
grapes all day, bro.
all day. You want me to peel it? Yo, fuck it.
Yeah, peel that grape.
Yo, okay, we at the end now. Good questions as always.
Good questions,
Thank
good
you.
questions.
Keep them coming. Him with the Soul Say the Sons for the week, and then we'll just slide out of this piece. So say the Sons of the week is shine light on someone in need. Don't cast a shadow on them.
So says the sons.
Yeah, I feel like what we really needed and stuff, especially like in the 2020 run, is a lot of togetherness.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people like, I got my own shit going on. Fuck your time. It's me time and stuff, whatever. Be like, nah, do the most you can to kind of help yourself, especially.
Yeah.
But if you can, help someone else in need. Just don't scorn them.
And shining the light, you're actually in the position of helping two people in need, because one, you're giving that person exposure. Two, you might be putting on another person to somebody who's looking for that said person.
True.
Right?
Very true.
So shining the light is not just helping the one individual. You know what I mean? You could be helping multiple individuals.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Like a diamond.
Yes, folks, that is it for this week.
Oh man, that felt quick.
Felt quick, I
Felt
know.
quick,
I
man.
know. We had good convo. Time flies when you're having fun. Once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Remember the difference between genius and stupidity. Genius has its limits. Peace and love. Be safe. Happy New Year.
Peace.
Enjoy it.
All right.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.